Most people are not losing in life because they're not smart enough or talented enough. They're losing because their own mind is running the show, uncontrolled, undisciplined, and unfocused. The truth is, your greatest enemy isn't out there. It's in here. The voice that tells you, not today. You're too tired. You'll start tomorrow. That voice isn't harmless. It's a thief. It steals your time, your focus, your future, one excuse at a time. You keep thinking you'll take control of your life when the time is right, when you feel ready, when motivation strikes. But the truth is, time doesn't wait for your readiness. It keeps moving whether you move with it or not. Every hour you spend overthinking is an hour you'll never get back. Every day you waste in distraction is a day that could have built your dream. Think about it. You have the same 24 hours as everyone else. The difference isn't in time, it's in control. While you scroll, they study. While you hesitate, they execute. While you think about what could go wrong, they're too busy making it right. Success doesn't belong to the most gifted. It belongs to the most focused. Your mind can either be your prison or your greatest weapon. Most people let their thoughts chain them. Fear, doubt, laziness, comparison, all mental traps that look small but destroy greatness. But the ones who rise above are those who take command of their thinking. They don't let emotions drive their day. They let discipline do it. They don't wait for motivation. They train their mind to show up regardless. The moment you take control of your mind, you take control of your life. You stop being a victim of your own emotions. You stop chasing distractions that feed your comfort and start pursuing challenges that build your character. You stop giving time to things that drain your energy and start investing it in things that grow your future. Because here's the truth, you don't need more time. You need more control. Your time isn't being stolen by the world, it's being wasted by your habits. You say, I don't have time. But the truth is, time doesn't disappear. It's spent on something that doesn't move you forward. The question isn't, where did my time go? The real question is, who did I let control my mind today? Every second you let your thoughts wander aimlessly, every minute you give away to fear or distraction, you're choosing weakness over growth. But the moment you decide, truly decide, to master your mind, your life begins to shift. You move from chaos to clarity, from drifting to direction, from average to unstoppable. Because once your mind obeys you, nothing can stop you. Most people don't lose because they're not smart or talented. They lose because their mind is in control of them, not the other way around. The real battle isn't happening in the world, it's happening inside your head. Every time you hesitate, every time you doubt yourself, every time you choose comfort over progress, it's not because you can't do it. It's because your mind has convinced you not to. The human brain is powerful, but without control, that power turns against you. It makes excuses sound logical. It makes procrastination feel like rest. It makes failure feel permanent. Your mind is supposed to serve you, but most people end up serving it. They let fear decide their actions, emotions shape their choices, and habits control their destiny. They know what needs to be done, but they don't do it. They want success, but they let distractions consume their time. They crave change, but they keep repeating the same patterns because their mind whispers, it's okay, there's still time. That's the illusion that kills potential, believing you can wait for the perfect moment to act. The truth is, the perfect moment doesn't exist. The moment you take control of your thoughts, that's when life begins to shift. Think about how much time we waste fighting battles that exist only in our head. We overthink, we fear judgment, we imagine failure before even starting. The mind becomes a cage, trapping us in endless loops of, what if? What if I fail? What if people laugh? What if it doesn't work? But what if it does? What if all the energy you waste doubting yourself could be used to build yourself? The mind will always offer you two voices, one of fear, one of power. The one you feed becomes your reality. When your mind is in control, your life feels scattered. You start a goal, stop halfway. You make promises you don't keep. You get excited about new beginnings, then fade when things get hard. That inconsistency isn't because you're weak. It's because your mind hasn't been trained to obey. You've trained it to chase comfort, not growth. You've rewarded it for escaping challenges instead of conquering them. The result, you stay busy but never productive, active but not advancing, dreaming but never doing. Mastering your focus is the key to unlocking everything you're capable of. When you control your focus, you stop giving energy to everything that doesn't matter. You stop scrolling for dopamine hits and start building the discipline that creates fulfillment. You stop comparing yourself to others and start competing with your yesterday. You stop letting your emotions dictate your day and start using intention to guide your direction. Focus turns potential into power. Without it, talent is wasted, ideas die, and time slips away quietly. It's easy to blame circumstances, people, or luck for your lack of progress, but it always comes back to one thing: control. The most successful people aren't necessarily the smartest. They're the most disciplined with their minds. They know how to quiet the noise, ignore distractions, and act even when they don't feel like it. They've mastered the art of directing their thoughts instead of being directed by them. That's the difference between success and stagnation. It's not about what happens to you, it's about what you allow your mind to focus on. Your focus determines your future. When your attention is scattered, your energy is weak. When your attention is powerful, your energy is unstoppable. Everything you do, your actions, habits, and results starts with what you choose to focus on. Most people focus on problems, and so they stay stuck in them. The ones who rise focus on solutions, and that's why they move forward. The ones who win understand that focus isn't something you find, it's something you train. You train it by saying no, no to distractions, no to negativity, no to every thought that pulls you away from your goals. You train it by choosing discipline over desire, purpose over pleasure. Every time you do what you said you'd do, even when it's uncomfortable, you build mental strength. Every time you follow through, your mind learns that you are in charge. That's how control is built, not overnight, but through repetition and consistency. When you master your mind, you stop being a victim of mood or motivation. You stop waiting to feel ready. You move with clarity. You become the kind of person who can sit in chaos and still stay focused. The noise around you doesn't shake you because the noise inside you has been silenced. And once you reach that level, the world can't stop you. You start to see opportunities others overlook. You make progress while others make excuses. You move forward while others are stuck replaying the same mental loops. Your potential isn't lost, it's locked, waiting for you to take back control. Once you do, everything changes. Life starts responding to your decisions, not your distractions. Success becomes predictable because it's built on focus, not chance. The mind that once held you back becomes the weapon that drives you forward. And that's when you finally realize the greatest victory you'll ever win is over your own mind. Time isn't the problem. Distraction is. Everyone gets the same 24 hours. The difference between those who rise and those who stay stuck isn't the amount of time they have, but what they do with it. You can't buy more hours, but you can control how you spend them. The truth is, most people aren't out of time. They're out of focus. Their days are full, but their progress is empty. They confuse being busy with being productive, activity with achievement. They wake up with good intentions, but by the end of the day, their energy is scattered across meaningless distractions that stole their attention. One notification, one excuse, one "I'll do it later" at a time. Your mind is constantly under attack by noise, comparison, temptation, and doubt. Every scroll, every unnecessary conversation, every moment of indecision chips away at your focus. You start the day with purpose, but then something small distracts you, and suddenly an hour is gone. That's how dreams die. Not in big moments of failure, but in small moments of distraction that pile up over time. The greatest thieves of success aren't people or problems. They're the distractions you entertain daily. Think about how often you check your phone when you should be building something meaningful. Think about the hours you spend replaying mistakes, worrying about opinions, or scrolling through other people's lives instead of working on your own. Those moments feel harmless, but they accumulate. Distraction doesn't just waste time. It drains purpose. It numbs your hunger for growth. It convinces you that you're doing something because you're busy, when in reality, you're just spinning in circles. The people who achieve great things aren't superhuman. They've simply learned to master attention. They protect their focus like treasure because they know that's where real power lies. They understand that 1 hour of deep, undistracted work can accomplish more than 10 hours of scattered effort. They don't chase everything. They choose what matters and give it everything. When your mind is clear and your attention is directed, time expands. Every minute becomes valuable because you're fully present in it. The problem isn't that life moves too fast, it's that you keep stopping to look at every distraction along the way. You want progress, but you also want comfort, and those two things can't coexist. Progress demands attention, and attention demands sacrifice. You can't grow if you're constantly feeding your mind junk. You can't focus if your environment screams for your attention every second. Every ping, every buzz, every thought that pulls you off track is costing you something. your dreams, your potential, your peace. You must learn to silence the noise. Not just the noise from the world, but the noise from within. The self-doubt, the procrastination, the overthinking. All of it. Your mind will always try to pull you toward the easy thing, the comfortable thing, the unimportant thing. That's what distraction really is, a test. Every time you choose focus over distraction, you strengthen your discipline. Every time you give in, you weaken it. Discipline isn't built in grand moments. It's built in the small choices you make every hour. Ask yourself how much of your day truly moves you closer to your goals. How much of your time is spent intentionally, with clarity and purpose. The truth might hurt, but awareness is the first step toward freedom. Once you see where your time goes, you can take it back. You can decide to stop letting your phone, your fears, and your comfort dictate your life. You can choose to take control of your attention because your future depends on it. The greats, the ones who built empires, mastered their craft, and changed the world, didn't have extra hours in their day. They had control. They decided what deserved their attention and what didn't. They worked while others were distracted. They focused while others were entertained. That's the difference. They didn't have more time, they simply respected it. You can have all the talent in the world, but without focus, it's useless. You can have big dreams, but without attention, they fade into frustration. Distraction is a silent killer. It destroys your dreams without making a sound. You don't even notice it happening until you look back and realize how much time you've wasted doing things that never mattered. But the good news is you can change that today. You can decide to take back control of your mind, to value your time like the limited gift it is. When you eliminate distractions, clarity returns. You start hearing your own thoughts again. You start recognizing what actually matters. You begin to move with direction instead of drift. That's when you realize time was never the problem. The problem was where your attention was going. Because when your focus sharpens, your results multiply. When your mind becomes disciplined, your life becomes powerful. So stop blaming time for what distraction has stolen. Every second counts, but only if you're present in it. Take control of your attention, and time will start working for you, not against you. The people who change their lives don't find more hours in a day. They find more purpose in each one. And that's the difference between a wasted life and a fulfilled one. The moment you learn to silence the chaos in your head and train your thoughts to serve your goals, everything changes. That inner noise, the doubts, fears, comparisons, and endless what-ifs is the biggest enemy of progress. It keeps you from hearing your own vision clearly. It fills your mind with confusion and hesitation until you start living in reaction mode instead of creation mode. But when you master your thoughts, when you take back control of your inner world, you start shaping your outer world with purpose. You stop letting your emotions dictate your direction, and instead, your direction begins to guide your emotions. You stop reacting to life and start designing it. You stop chasing after every distraction, every opinion, every temporary feeling, and start moving with intention. Most people never reach this level of awareness. They spend their entire lives being controlled by their thoughts instead of controlling them. They wake up stressed, go through the day anxious, and go to sleep unfulfilled. They don't realize their thoughts are running the show. Every time they give attention to fear, they feed it. Every time they replay a failure, they relive it. Every time they focus on what they can't control, they lose the power to influence what they can. But when you learn to silence the chaos, something powerful happens. Clarity returns. You start to see your path again. You begin to understand that your thoughts are not facts, they're habits. They can be reprogrammed. You can train your mind to think in ways that serve you, not sabotage you. It takes work, but the reward is freedom, mental freedom. Because once your mind becomes your ally instead of your enemy, you become unstoppable. You start to feel a sense of calm even when things around you are uncertain. You stop being thrown off by negativity, by other people's opinions, or by small setbacks. You begin to live in control, not in chaos. The same energy that used to fuel your fears now fuels your goals. The same focus that once magnified problems now magnifies progress. You stop wasting energy on things that don't matter and start investing it into what does. That's when life starts to move differently. Not because everything outside you changed, but because you did. Every great transformation begins in the mind. Every successful person you admire learned how to train their thoughts before they conquered anything else. They weren't born with unshakable confidence, they built it. They weren't born with perfect discipline, they created it by mastering their mental environment. They learned to stop believing every thought that entered their head. They learned that the mind is like a muscle. It grows stronger when challenged, sharper when trained, and quieter when understood. The truth is, your thoughts create your reality. The way you think shapes the way you feel, and the way you feel shapes the way you act. If your mind is full of noise, your actions will be scattered. If your thoughts are filled with doubt, your results will reflect it. But if you fill your mind with clarity, discipline, and purpose, your entire life will align with that energy. What you feed your mind is what your life becomes. When you master your inner dialogue, everything around you starts to shift. You begin to speak differently, move differently, and attract differently. You stop being a prisoner of your emotions. You stop needing external motivation to keep going. You become self-driven, self-guided, and self-disciplined. Your thoughts no longer control you. You control them. That's the essence of true power. The ability to direct your mind toward what builds you instead of what breaks you. But understand, this mastery doesn't happen overnight. It takes patience, awareness, and relentless repetition. You have to become conscious of your patterns. You have to catch yourself when you start spiraling into negativity and redirect your focus. You have to remind yourself that peace is not found outside, it's created inside. That calm mind, that quiet focus, that mental stillness, it's something you train like any skill. Every time you choose silence over reaction, every time you choose discipline over distraction, every time you choose progress over excuses, you're building control. The more you practice, the stronger it gets. Eventually, chaos loses its grip on you. The noise that once controlled your days becomes background static you no longer respond to. You start living intentionally, building consciously, and leading confidently. You become the kind of person who doesn't crumble under pressure because your foundation is built from within. That's when everything changes, not because the world becomes easier, but because you become stronger. You realize that success isn't about controlling what happens around you, it's about mastering what happens inside you. You stop chasing balance and start creating it. You stop being pulled by your fears and start being pushed by your vision. You stop reacting and you start creating. When you reach that level of control, distractions lose power, negativity loses relevance, doubt loses voice. You move through challenges with calm precision. You see opportunities where others see obstacles. You stay steady while everyone else panics. That's what mental mastery gives you, unshakable strength. Because when your mind is aligned with your goals, there's no outside force strong enough to derail you. So yes, everything changes when you silence the chaos, not because the noise disappears, but because you've learned how to rise above it. You no longer let your emotions drive your decisions. You no longer let fear choose your direction. You've learned that the world outside you will always be loud, but the real battle is to keep your inner world calm. That's where true success begins. Because once you control your mind, you control your life. Listen to me. There will come a day when you'll look in the mirror and realize the battle was never with the world. It was always with your own mind. That voice that told you you're not ready, you're not enough, you might fail. That voice was never truth. It was just fear pretending to protect you, and you've believed it for too long. But today, something changes. Today, you stop letting that voice dictate your potential. Today, you take control, because the truth is no one's coming to save you. No one's going to silence the noise for you. The world will keep throwing distractions, negativity, and doubt your way. But it's you who decides what gets your attention. It's you who decides what becomes your focus. You've been giving away your power every time you let your mind wander, every time you let excuses sound logical, every time you let fear make the final decision. But no more. You see, your mind is like a wild horse, powerful, fast, full of potential. But if you don't learn how to steer it, it'll run you off a cliff. The moment you grab the reins, the moment you say, enough, I'm in control now, everything changes. Suddenly, those same thoughts that used to pull you down start pushing you forward. The fear that once paralyzed you becomes fuel. The doubt that once weakened you becomes discipline. You realize that you've always had the power. You just needed to wake it up. You have to stop waiting for the perfect mindset to appear. It won't. You build it day by day through repetition, through discomfort, through action. You train your mind by refusing to quit when it screams for comfort. You strengthen your focus every time you say no to distractions. You sharpen your discipline every time you do what's right instead of what's easy. That's how you take control, not by talking about it, but by doing it. And I know it's not easy. Some days you'll feel like you're fighting a war inside your head. One side says, push forward. The other whispers, rest. One side says, believe. The other says, what's the point? But every time you choose the voice that pushes you forward, you win a battle. You may not see it right away, but your strength grows silently like roots beneath the ground. And one day, that strength will break through everything that once held you back. You've got to remind yourself, discipline is your greatest weapon. Focus is your armor. Consistency is your path. You don't need motivation to take control of your mind. You need commitment. Motivation fades, but discipline stays. When you learn to move forward, even when you don't feel like it, you unlock the next level of power. That's where transformation begins. Stop saying, I'll start when I'm ready. You'll never feel fully ready. The people you admire weren't ready when they began. They just began. They took action before clarity, and clarity came through action. They stopped waiting for the right mindset and created it through repetition. That's the difference between people who dream and people who achieve. The dreamers think, the achievers act. You are not your thoughts. You are not your fears. You are the awareness behind them. You have the power to decide which thoughts stay and which ones go. Don't let temporary feelings make permanent decisions. You can feel tired and still take action. You can feel doubt and still show up. You can feel fear and still move forward. That's how you win, by doing it anyway. Every minute you waste worrying about what might go wrong is a minute you could have spent making things go right. Every second you spend comparing yourself to others is energy stolen from your own growth. You have everything you need to rise right now. The problem isn't lack of time, it's lack of focus. And focus begins the moment you say, I'm done giving my mind to everything that doesn't build me. You need to talk to yourself differently. Instead of saying, I can't handle this, start saying, I'll find a way. Instead of saying, it's too hard, say, this is how I grow. Instead of saying, I'm tired, say, I'm just getting started. Because your words shape your mindset, and your mindset shapes your future. Every word you speak to yourself is a command your brain follows. Feed it power, feed it belief, feed it purpose. And when life hits you, because it will, don't crumble. Take a breath, recenter, refocus. Remind yourself, I'm still in control. You can't always control what happens, but you can always control how you respond. That's true strength. The storm doesn't define you, your calm inside it does. The struggle doesn't break you, your resilience within it builds you. There will be people who doubt you, mock you, or try to pull you off track. Don't waste your energy proving them wrong. Use that energy to prove yourself right. Let your results speak. Let your consistency become your loudest voice. Silence the noise not by arguing, but by executing. Let the world see what happens when someone takes full control of their mind and refuses to settle. So from this moment on, stop being a prisoner of your thoughts. Take the key back. You were never meant to live at the mercy of your emotions. You were meant to lead them, direct them, use them. When your mind says, I can't, your heart must answer, watch me. When your fear says, not now, your discipline must say today. When doubt whispers, it's impossible, your focus must scream, I'll make it happen. Because that's what control looks like, not perfection, but progress. Not silence, but strength in the noise. You don't wait for peace, you create it. You don't wait for time, you make it. You don't wait for motivation. You move first and motivation follows. And when you do that, when you finally take full command of your mind, life bends, opportunities appear, energy flows. Success starts chasing you, not the other way around, because you've become the rarest kind of person in this world. Someone who doesn't just exist, but abdirects their existence. Someone who doesn't just live by chance, but a creatist by choice. So take a deep breath, stand tall, and remind yourself, my mind doesn't control me, I control it. My time isn't slipping away, I'm using it. My life isn't happening to me, I'm building it. This is your moment. Take it.